This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Yes, we are back. We're back. And there he is, locked and loaded. All right. What are you looking at? My shirt?
No. Greta Van
Last
Fleet.
night.
Fun fact about Aldo Nova, by the way, born in Montreal. No, where he was raised was born in Montreal, my hometown.
Ah, okay. He's Canadian, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Is he one of those guys? Did he make it into the Canadian Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Less than no clue.
Okay. All right.
I'm not familiar with the Canadian who's in there. I would assume Russia's in there. Sarah McLachlan, Alanis Morissette, I would hope's in there.
Bryan Adams.
Celine Dion.
April Wine,
also from Montreal. Chili Watts, I can't imagine would be in the Hall of Fame.
Is April Wine in there? They got to be, right?
I would imagine, yeah.
I love April Wine.
Neil Young, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There you go. There's a couple Canadians, eh? They actually can play some music.
They're actually more famous for comedians. Whole bunch of comedians.
Triumph.
There you go. Lay It on the Line. Great song. Love that song.
No, I love that. I love that band, period, bro. God. Have you ever heard Young Enough to Cry from Triumph? It's my favorite song. It's sung by the drummer. Okay. The drummer was kind of the lead of the band, actually. I don't know if you know that. He was kind of the boss. In fact, him and Rick Emmett have had a falling out and all that kind of stuff and financial and all that. You'll never see them get back together again, which is a real shame because, you know. And by the way, what is it with Canadians and three-man bands? They're like pretty good at that. They come up with the three-man band all the time. Pretty impressive.
Well, who else outside of Rush? I mean, Rush is...
No, Triumph was also a three-man band.
I mean, think outside of Triumph and Rush. I mean, Rush is like...
Wait a minute. Is what's it called? These super whatever. Oh, damn it! What's this band that's a three-man band? Are they Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Nickelback's Canadian, but I don't think they're the three-man band.
Muse. Is Muse
is British.
Oh, they're British. Okay. Yeah. I thought they were Canadian. So.
No, that's a fact.
There's another three-man Canadian band that I'm forgetting. And it might not be as big. Well, nobody's as big as Rush. That's as big as it gets. But or Triumph. But there's another one that I think I'm missing. Don't know why.
You're not comparing Triumph to Rush, are you?
No. Okay. But Triumph is great.
Oh, no. I don't know their material.
Like I said, Rush is as big as it gets.
Yeah,
Rush is up there with the greatest of all the greats. That's not up for arguments or anything like that. But Triumph is freaking awesome, dude.
Oh, okay.
Rock and Roll Machine. They have so many great songs that are. It's really an excellent band. But I know there's another three. Well, they're saying Hanson. That's
Hanson's from like Missouri or Kansas or something. They're
not Canadian?
No,
I don't know.
I don't believe so.
That would have been funny. Somebody's throwing out the Guess Who.
They're Canadian.
Are they a three-man band?
I don't believe so. Burton Cummings.
No, there was several.
They had like four or five people. Randy Bachman was in that band. I think there were like 4 or 5 people.
Avril Lavigne is also a Canadian, eh?
Yep. Could you stop with the A already? Jesus.
What? You're supposed to do it automatically when you say Canadian, eh?
Except
there's a law. It goes with it, right? Isn't it?
It's like saying somebody's from Cuba, coño. I mean, it's like, or somebody's from the U.S., y'all. I mean, it's...
Well, no, that's a certain part of the U.S.
Well, the A is a certain part of...
The Cuban part of the coño, you were right on target. You were good with the Cuban one. But the y'all doesn't really go because it's only a certain part of the country that says y'all, you know?
And the A is only a certain part of Canada. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Oh, it is? Really? What part is it?
I believe it's like from Ontario. I don't think you hear BC people saying A.
Okay. Oh, Loverboy, they're Canadian?
From Vancouver, yes.
Yes, there you go. They weren't definitely not a three-man band, but they are excellent.
Yep.
I do like a little lover boy. I got no problem with that. Man, I don't know why I think we're missing one that was Tiny Tim. Was he Canadian also? Were you tiptoeing through the tulips?
I
I didn't know that.
so. I don't believe so, but I'd have
Look
to.
up Tiny Tim there. Is he Canadian? Tiny Tim? That's funny if he's Canadian. That would be funny right there.
By the way, Hanson, that's in
The Yoko Ono Plastic Band, were they Canadian?
really.
Oh, he was born in
There you
Manhattan,
go.
New York. Tiny Tim from Manhattan, New York.
And spoiler alert: Boston was not from Canada either. The band Boston, not
No,
from Canada.
no. I think they actually are from that area, aren't they? Aren't they from the Massachusetts area?
From Boston, hence the name of
Yeah.
the band.
Yeah, exactly. And he went to MIT and everything, Tom Schultz.
How about that?
Yeah, exactly. That dude made his own guitar and he built his own studio and they recorded all of the albums at his house. Every one of the albums were recorded at his studio in his house.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty smart dude. There's no doubt. Yeah.
Yep.
They're throwing Nickelback on you guys.
They're from Calgary, yeah.
Oh, wow. Apologies there. I'm sorry that you have to.
Talk about polarizing band. Holy moly. Yeah.
I know. And by the way, I'm guilty. I kind of like Nickelback. So
They got a couple of good songs, and they also have a very generic sound.
I know they have a generic sound, but they do have a couple good songs. They actually do make a couple songs that I do like, I got to say. I can't. By the way, are you on the bandwagon of calling Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel a liar? Because it's like, here we go. Here's Scott Zolak,
Yeah, I know.
and then the other former backup Green Bay, Patriot quarterback. I forgot the guy's name.
Zolak. No.
The other one. There's another one. I forgot. But they're all throwing out that Brady to Miami. Brady already told you he's not coming. And see, here's my problem with all of this. Greer and McDaniel really haven't been liars to the media or to the fan base. It's you can't control some of the people around you, like in the past, whether it's the owner or the head coach or whatever. It's basically you're calling those guys like flat out liars when they've been telling you from the first moment of the offseason that they're committed to Tua, and yet it doesn't stop. I don't get it. I really don't understand it, Alan.
No, but here's the thing, though. If you look at the story with the Zolak comment, it's basically just saying what Rich Eisen said. There's nothing. Doesn't sound like there's anything new from his end where he got any sort of inside info. Look, something happens to Tua in August or September. Yeah, sure. Sal can see the Dolphins picking up the phone and say, "Hey, Tom, you're interested." But in the meantime, no. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not buying that.
Yeah, I don't think they're exploring anything right now. I think what they're exploring is in trying to improve this team. And your thoughts on the Chubb thing? Is that just step one of many to start to clear up space?
Correct. It seemed like a no-brainer. Yeah, the only issue there is you're kind of creating cap issues. You're pushing cap issues down the road. But right now they're in a situation where they made a big push last year, this year, maybe for even next year, to have like guys of key core guys to make a big run.
Right.
Well, from that standpoint, so now they got to deal with, okay, now we got to create this cap space to be able to put together a team, because it's not just getting under the cap. They have to create space to where they will have room under the cap, because they got to re-sign. Right now they have I believe I saw this morning, 43 players on the contract.
Yes.
43. That's I'm no math genius, but that's
you tend to get to 53.
That's less than 90. I mean, that's less than half the 90. And you don't have a single running back under contract, so that's going to have to be addressed. So they need to create space, not just get down to the cap. And you look at certain of the contracts that scream that's an easy restructure to push stuff down the road. Tyreek Hill's one, Bradley Chubb was another one.
Right. Yeah, and I would imagine Teron Armstead's going to be another one that they may explore and try to open up some space. How big of a player do you think they'll be in free agency? 1, 2, or 3 free agents? And I'm talking about players that are not on this team, not guys that are free agents on your own team.
Well, yeah, I mean, unless they bring back everybody again, they're at 43 players, so they're going to be signing players. If the question is how many splash free agent signings they
Yes.
make,
Yes.
that would be pretty low. I think 3 might be like, I don't want to say Teron Armstead because Teron Armstead's a whale to that level. Like even to
Will they get a whale? Will they get a Jordan Poyer? Will they get
not a whale level? I mean, Teron Armstead was like what 17 million a year or something like that. I don't think they're getting a player like that. I'm not seeing that. I think they may get maybe room for one 10 million a year plus guy, but I could see maybe more so 5 or 6 more reasonably priced guys. And Jordan Poyer's thing is going to come down to what the market is for him. He's a hell of a player, but he's 32.
and safeties don't get paid that much money.
Don't get paid, and by all accounts, it's a great year for safeties in the draft. It's the same thing with tight ends. I mean, it's everybody talks about how nuts the tight end class is in this draft. Nuts as in great.
Right. It's weak in free agency. Yeah.
Well, it's got you. If you can, Gesicki, Dalton Schultz, not a bad player. Those are the 2 who jump off the top of my head. Ingram got tagged, so he's off the market. But no, I can't see them making I don't expect like the whale and maybe one, like, let's put it semi-whale. How's that for a term?
Okay. Yeah. No, that's I would consider Jordan Poyer a semi-whale.
Right. Poyer, Bobby Wagner's a semi-whale. If they trade for Jalen Ramsey, that would be a whale. The problem with Jalen Ramsey now, the latest that I saw with him is part of the issues. He wants a new contract.
They're not trading for Jalen Ramsey.
Kind of a pain in the ass, if we're going to be honest. I mean, he's a little bit of a prima donna, hell of a player, but I don't know. Like if I rank him, Wagner, Poyer, or Ramsey, I have Ramsey 3.
Yeah, I have no interest. I actually have zero interest in Ramsey because it's a big salary and you have to give up compensation. I'm going to go get guys that I don't have to give up compensation because the few picks you have, you need to use those picks. You need to find something there. You can't just be trading away your picks also and cap space at the same time. So for me, I'd rather I really like Poyer and Wagner as my free agent, dips, because I think I think this guy needs, in order for his defense to work, he's going to need another elite cover safety, and he definitely needs a linebacker in the middle that can, he needs an eraser in the middle.
Hell, if he lands those 2, I think I'd be fine with nothing but like minimum salary free agent or close to it to fill.
And bring back most of your guys. Yeah,
correct.
Right. Yes.
None of them are going to break the bank because that's why there was never any thought the Dolphins would franchise tag any of their pending UFAs.
Right. Yeah. None of them deserve to be.
Correct.
What's it called? Tagged. We had Robert Jones on earlier on the show, and he was terrific. How do you think they're going to handle the offensive line? Do you think they'll go and find a free agent for the guard spot? Left guard, that is, because obviously the right guard is solved with Hunt. Or do you think they're going to allow Eichenberg and others like Robert Jones to battle out for that spot?
I don't think it's a high priority. I really don't. And I know I keep hearing right tackle. This is a spot. It wouldn't. And again, same with running back. I wouldn't be shocked if they. Obviously, Jackson's under contract. He's going to come back. Wouldn't be shocked if they brought back Brandon Shell. Brandon Shell goes on the market. Is he a slam dunk guy to be signed by a team as a starter? I don't think so. He may look at the Dolphins situation and look at what they have and say, I'm going to come back there. I'm beating out Austin Jackson. So, and then for the Dolphins, you got the security blanket with Shell, and you can give Jackson another look because Dolphin coaches were talking about how promising he looked. And the truth is, we don't know because we didn't see him practice, and he barely played because he got hurt pretty quickly, both early in the season and when he come back. So I kind of be surprised if there was a big splash signing. I know Mike McGlinchey said yesterday in a radio interview in San Francisco that based on the scuttlebutt he heard at the combine, he's expecting to sign pretty quickly. John Lynch said last week, don't see a way we can keep him. And of course, you do the connection to Mike McDaniel. And is it somebody who logically is going to come to Miami? But as I indicated in a story I wrote today, updating our free agent tracker, which will be updated again not too long after I wrap up with you here. There's plenty of 49er hooks around the NFL, including Rand Carthon, who's now the GM in Tennessee, and Tennessee's O-line badly needs help. And then there's a hookup connection in Houston with D'Amico Ryans as the new head coach, and that O-line's a complete mess, except for our good friend Laramie Tunsil at left tackle.
Okay. When you look at the quarterback situation, we've talked about this many times. Where are you at now that we're getting close to free agency? We all know, those of us with common sense, Tua's the guy. They're not looking for a number one guy, but they are going to look for. McDaniel said that Skyler's not going to go unchallenged. Where will that challenge come from? Will it come from the draft, or will it come from free agency? What's your gut tell you there?
It makes zero sense if the idea, again, unless they do what we talked about Monday, which is take the big shot with Hendon Hooker if he slides. Right. It makes zero sense to draft another young developmental quarterback to challenge what you have, which is a young developmental quarterback. So to me, it's a no-brainer. You go for a veteran who is a good fit in terms of durability, in terms of mindset, where this is not somebody who's going to come in and hoping he's going to start, somebody who's comfortable with being a backup. Andy Dalton, Joe Flacco. We can throw out Gardner Minshew, but folks in Philly I know aren't necessarily that high on him. I heard Marcus Mariota thrown out. No, thank you. No, thank you. Outside of that, I heard somebody, Jameis Winston, mention, and no thank you either, because you need – the offense is based on quick decision, getting rid of the ball quickly, and I don't really think that's Jameis Winston's forte, number one. And number two, I kind of have the feeling that he may be looking for someplace where he has at least a shot to start. Without looking at the list again, I think those are the two guys. For some, I keep going back to those two guys who, to me, wouldn't even rule out the possibility of Jacoby Brissett.
Jabroni.
He's another one who maybe doesn't process quickly, but he's a good guy. He's a good locker guy, and he'll be okay understanding his role.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, the only thing is I don't know if he really fits there. By the way, I was just reminded, Saga is a Canadian band.
On the Loose.
Yeah, that's right. Tonight we're on the loose.
That's a great song.
That's a great song. And actually that album is pretty good. The band is also from Canada. I did not know that. It's a good one. Somebody is asking, question for you. What was the first CD you bought with your own money?
If I had to guess, because it's been a long time, this was something I had as a record and as a
Sean's making fun of you. He says that would be a tape or an 8-track.
Oh no! The first thing I bought was a 45, actually.
Yeah, me too.
First CD, probably Supertramp, Crime of the Century.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And by the way, they are Canadian too, right?
They're British.
Oh, they're British. That's right. That's right. Hodgins is British. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. He is British. I did see them once. But just him. I didn't get to see the Supertramp band.
You saw him at Hard Rock Stadium, and he played 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I saw him at Jerry Park in 1979, where the Expos used to play.
Wow,
it was a great concert.
And that was Breakfast in America.
Breakfast in America. Yep.
Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. A lot of people don't figure that the album cover is an airplane window looking out into New York City.
A great cover.
Right. A lot of you what is this? And then you're looking, oh yeah, she's supposed to be a statue. Okay, but what is it? And then it's, you don't realize you're actually looking out an airplane window at New York City, but in their in the way that they formed it. So yeah, it's actually pretty cool. All right, what do you got going on Sports Illustrated so folks can check you out, my friend?
Well, as I mentioned, I got the free agency tracker that I keep updating. I did whatchamacallit. I was at the Mike Pouncey press conference today for his official contract signing and retirement, and all sorts of other good. Can't speak anymore. Take two other goodies on the site.
There you go. He's printing articles like the U.S. prints money. So there's a lot of articles coming out. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Alain, as always, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you immensely.
You got it. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend. And EJD Construction, you call my guy Eric. And listen, whatever it is you've got in your little mind that you want to create for your home, custom home construction, major home remodeling, EJD Construction can handle it. 305-433-4843, fully insured, liability, and what's it called? The workers' comp. So you're not going to get sued. And whatever project you want to do, they got it. It's not a handyman thing. We're talking about like you need to redo your roof. You need to upgrade your roof to make sure that you pass the inspection for your new policy for hurricane insurance. Because if you don't have your roof upgraded nowadays and your roof is older than 20 years, you're not going to get that new policy. And in South Florida, you need hurricane insurance, okay? So call them, EJD Construction. You want to build a second floor. You want to build a new room. Whatever it is that your mind is thinking that you need, okay? We have a listener that had to remediate their entire home because it got on fire. So they have to gut it all out and restart, and they can do that too. So you name it. Whatever it is that you need, you got to modernize that kitchen, EJD Construction, 305-433-4843.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.